What did I just witness? I'm pretty sure I just had years shaved off the back end of my life. What a tough, ugly watch this game was, and on top of it, they lost.
This doesn't feel good, does it? Beating the Wings, beating the Lynx, beating the Aces, looking pretty good doing it. Los Angeles Sparks. Last time we saw you guys, we were beating you down for a majority of the game, and then Kelsey Plum goes off in the fourth quarter. Sparks take the lead and win. Damn.
You should have won this game. There was inconsistencies in the officiating. Wait until you see the second half.
In terms of the fourth quarter, they had all but one of their buckets was inside the paint. Was that them just being able to get into the paint and get whatever they want because of that point of attack defense like you were talking about?
Yeah, they had that and 9-3.
Caitlin Clark didn't play. The Indiana Fever were shorthanded, but what happened next, that wasn't just a loss, it was a scandal. Because what we witnessed on that court against the Los Angeles Sparks wasn't just basketball, it was sabotage, and it exposed everything fans have been whispering about for weeks. From blown calls, to a net grab with no foul, to a post-game press conference that left the WNBA speechless, this game will go down in history, not because of what Indiana lost, but because of what the refs took. Let's break it all down. The drama started before the ball even tipped. Caitlin Clark, the Fever star, the league's main attraction, and the reason every arena is suddenly sold out, was ruled out yet again. A left groin strain, her fifth straight missed game. And with every passing absence, fans got more nervous. Coach Stephanie White addressed the media calmly, saying they're prioritizing her long-term health. But you could hear the concern in her voice. It's a day-to-day thing, she said. She's a quick healer, but we have to be hypersensitive to the big picture. Translation, she's not just missing gains. The Fever are being careful because they know how fragile this entire season could be without her. And Clark's absence wasn't even the worst news of the night. As if losing Clark wasn't enough, Indiana took the floor without two more key contributors. Dewada Botter, gone, opted out of the team entirely. Damiris Dantas, not in uniform, representing Brazil in the FIBA Americas. Now the Fever weren't just missing talent, they were missing leadership, size, and experience. Three foundational pieces rip out, yet somehow ESPN's matchup predictor still gave the Fever nearly a 73% chance to win. Vegas had them as 6.5-point favorites. Why? Because on paper this should have been easy. The Sparks were awful. But what happened next defied all logic.
But Kelsey Mitchell's got it in it going, and she's been brilliant recently, and Aaliyah Boston continues to have an awesome season. And I love the physicality that Aaliyah Boston is showing, but they weren't able to get it done down the stretch again.
After riding high after the last few games, we go up against the Los Angeles Sparks. Nice.
A disaster. This was a disaster. The Indiana Fever cannot keep losing to teams like the LA Sparks if they're supposed to be a good team.
The Fever were on fire. They just crushed the league's best, Paige Buchers and the Dallas Wings, the Minnesota Lynx, and even Aja Wilson's Las Vegas Aces, 3 straight wins. Aaliyah Boston was dominating. Kelsey Mitchell was playing inspired ball. The chemistry looked locked in. The Sparks? One of the WNBA's worst records, a defense that couldn't stop a nosebleed, and an offense that relied on broken plays. The math didn't just favor Indiana, it screamed their name. But basketball isn't played on spreadsheets, and stats don't account for what was about to unfold. A slow, painful collapse powered not by poor shooting, but something far more sinister. From the opening tip, something felt off. The Fever's offensive rhythm? Gone. The ball wasn't moving. The pace slowed to a crawl. Aaliyah Boston barely touched the ball in the paint during key stretches. Players looked confused. Rotations were messy. Without Clark's playmaking, the offense lost its heartbeat. Mitchell tried to fill the void, but the weight was heavy. Suddenly, players who thrived in defined roles were being asked to do too much. But it wasn't just rust. There was something else happening, a force that seemed to swing every 50-50 moment in one direction. Let's call it what it was, a ref show. The Fever got called for phantom fouls. Aaliyah Boston, arguably the best center in the league, got whistled for touches and quickly landed in foul trouble. Meanwhile, the Sparks were allowed to play with reckless physicality. But it was Sophie Cunningham's moment that made fans lose their minds. She got grabbed by the neck. And the call? Jump ball. Seriously, no flagrant, not even a common foul, just a jump. The clip went viral immediately. Fans were screaming on social media. The commentators were stunned. And then, the next possession, Cunningham got slammed again with no whistle. It didn't stop there. Aaliyah got called for 3 fouls in a row, where she literally didn't touch anyone. Michaela Onion Ware got whistled twice just for raising her arms. Meanwhile, Kelsey Plum, on the other side, elbowed Lexi Hull to the ground, stepped over her on purpose, and didn't even get a warning. The refs weren't calling a fair game, they were controlling it. Still, somehow, 3 Indiana stars kept the fight alive. Aaliyah Boston, 23 points, 12 rebounds, dominant, physical, clutch. She even nailed 5 of 7 free throws while in foul trouble, carrying the team on her back. Kelsey Mitchell, ice cold, 19 points, 3 triples. And in the process, she became just the 2nd player in Fever history to log over 250 games. Then there was Natasha Howard, the forgotten veteran. She dropped 21 points and 9 boards, shooting 73% from the field. When everyone else was rattled, she looked calm, lethal, and locked in. Boston was the anchor, Mitchell was the engine, Howard was the assassin. Together, they built a comeback. The crowd felt it, the energy shifted. And just as Indiana looked ready to take the lead, the whistles returned. You could see it in their faces. Every time Indiana started gaining ground, a ticky-tack foul stopped them cold. Every defensive stop was erased by a free throw. Every bit of momentum was crushed under the weight of another blown call. The refs weren't just inconsistent, they were one-sided. Kelsey got hacked. No call. Boston boxed out clean. Whistle. Cunningham got bodied again. Nothing. And then came the moment that broke everyone. Howard drove, got smacked across the face, and the ref said, out of bounds. No foul, just a turnover. Game basically over. After the game, the press room was silent. Coach White stepped up to the podium, face tight with frustration. She's known for her composure, for never throwing the league under the bus. But this time, 5 words. That's all she needed. We didn't get the calls. That was it. No rant, no sarcasm, just raw, bitter truth. 5 words that lit up Fever fans like wildfire. Because it wasn't just one missed call. It was an avalanche of terrible officiating, and White said what everyone watching had been screaming. The WNBA didn't just allow this game to be taken from Indiana, it helped take it. Let's be honest, fans are already frustrated with how the WNBA treats Caitlin Clark. She gets hacked on drives, grabbed in transition, shoved after whistles, and rarely gets protection. Now the Fever as a team are dealing with the same treatment. This game wasn't just unfair. It exposed a pattern of inconsistency, of favoritism, of disrespect toward a rising franchise that's carrying the league's ratings. And yet, even with 3 stars missing, horrible calls, and mounting pressure, Indiana still nearly pulled it off. That's everything. Clark is close to returning. Coach White says she's doing drills, moving well, and could suit up as soon as Wednesday. When she does, everything changes. Imagine this lineup. Caitlin Clark running the offense. Aaliyah Boston dominating the paint. Kelsey Mitchell catching fire from deep. Natasha Howard bringing experience. Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham locking up wings. That's not just a playoff team, that's a contender. And here's the thing. Every single bad call, every elbow, every snub, every loss, they remember it. The Sparks got them twice. Other teams kicked them while they were down. But the Fever will get healthy. And when they do, it's revenge season. This loss wasn't just painful, it was transformational. The Fever got robbed, But what they gained is far more dangerous. Hunger, anger, fire, unity. They're no longer just Clark's team. They're battle-tested, hardened, hungry. And when the playoffs arrive, they'll remember every whistle, every elbow, every injustice. So if you're a WNBA fan, buckle up, because this story is just getting started. Let us know down in the comments, did the refs ruin this game? Should the league step in? And do you believe Indiana can make a deep run? Smash that like button if you believe in this team. Subscribe for more hard-hitting breakdowns. And hit the bell so you don't miss what happens when Clark finally returns. This loss, it wasn't the end. It was the beginning.